Hello, YouTube. This is Tyler Revolution, or just Tyler for short. I'm trying this out. Hopefully, it works out because it's going to be playing for a long time, and I want it to be good. So, this is my first time not live streaming a video. I'm going to upload it um, later on. And this is just me playing my own game. Basically, this is a trial run, so whoever watches this, sorry for it being a trial run. Hopefully, it's not too bad. But once again, this is Civilization 6 by Sid Meier. So I'm excited. I love Civilization games. I've been playing since Civilization 4, so I'm not old enough to have played the other ones. Yeah, I don't think I played 3. But I love them. I've been obsessed with them, and it's very hard not to get quickly addicted um, to these games for me. I don't know if it's just the world building, the civilization building, or what, but as you might have noticed, I am playing as England, Queen Victoria. She's over here from the English Empire, founded in London. Um, oh, somewhere pretty close to where we are, 3200 BC, just a little bit before then. We've grown. Haven't got any builders going yet, so this is very early in the game. I still haven't really made much progress. I was trying to do this actually on a live stream on Facebook and realized how jittery it was and did not feel great about it. So I'm going to upgrade my warrior there. And I'll say I'm not much of a military conqueror on this game, which might be more exciting. I prefer the science or the civilization win, or the cultural win. Um, but yeah, so whoever watches this is familiar with civilization, you will know what's going on. My primary thing is to talk to those who may not know much about civilization, including me. Um, and maybe we'll even discuss some historical coolness one day, because I do have a degree in history. I know some of what I talk about, um, and this game definitely lends itself to being a catalyst for historical talk. Um, just like I said, this is a trial run. If I do upload it, which you will know, we'll see how it goes. And maybe I'll actually set up some notes about the civilization I'm playing as and go along with it. So I'm going to. This is my warrior, of course. This is a barbarian slinger. Let me see in the right hand corner. Um, the cool thing about some of the like 5 and 6 is it gives you an idea of. I think they always give you an idea of how strong you are and versus the opponent that you're about to take on. Gives you an idea of whether you should attack or not, or run away. I'm going to attack these guys. Let's get in close. Watch them go down into the marsh. They will be buried there for an eternity. We'll find them later when we dig up the land, excavating for historical facts. And I don't mean just in reality. I mean you actually do uh, archaeological work here on
I
Civilization
am fond
6.
of pigs. Dogs look up to us. Cats look down on us. Pigs treat us as equals.
So that is my research I just finished completing, animal husbandry, and that was Sean Bean doing the wonderful quote work. Interesting fact about this game, this is one of the few things that Sean Bean does not die in, and that is definitely a testament to him. I love Sean Bean, by the way. So, unfortunately, I killed them. I missed out on the village over there that would have given me maybe a little bit of gold or something. Um, And if you're not familiar with Civilization, these are actually resources that it's nice to know that are around because you do have to use them. They're good for trading, they're good for economics, they're good for making your civilization a lovely, decadent wonder world. We're going to change our research, and I will go with the uh, irrigation, because actually I'm going to go with astrology. It's important to at least our religion. It's good to, it kind of helps um, the morale, I think, and many other things. And one thing I think that you have to know and like about this game is the I wouldn't say sludge, but the trudging of it. And I am playing a standard game, so I'm not doing an epic or anything like that. 500 turns only. So that's still a lot of turns. That is still a lot of turns to play. To be honest, um, if you notice, my city, I set on London between two rivers, so um, I don't know which one you want to consider the Thames, but make it up. Be imaginative. We'll just use the one that's heading south there as the Thames. Maybe you consider the whole thing. You know. Now my scout is getting killed by some barbarians.
I don't underrate the value of military knowledge, but if men make war in slavish obedience to rules, they will fail.
Yeah, so got my military tradition. If you're once again not familiar with Civilization 6 or just interested in knowing more, of course, this is the civics, and each civic that you research unlocks these cards to basically allow you to switch out policies, and you can make your own policies as the ruler of your civilization, and that's cool. And I love it. It's fun. It gets complicated because it gets hard to manage it sometimes because you only have finite space. So I'm not going to worry about changing it right now. I think I'm okay. My chiefdom, that's my government right now, um, and I almost universally always play this out in uh, the same order. I don't, my principles in real life tend to come out in the game, at least in terms of, how what my governments go. So I don't know what that says. Maybe I'm too real about it. Maybe I don't want to explore. But that's sort of the conundrum with me sometimes is branching out to the other options, government-wise. So I've been recently building a settler, or producing a settler, as it were. So they are finished. Um, these green spots are good places to settle the cities usually, but they do often give you sites prepaid to say, "Hey, come move here," and that's what I'm going to do. I'm not gonna stray too far. I may build something down here later on, but for now, we're going up there to settle. Choose another civic. Foreign trade is where I'm going. Choose production for London. Granary is always one of those important things for me because that's good for food and housing. Gotta get it done. You gotta have the food in the city. You gotta do it. Look at my gold. I have 283 gold. So one of the things you can actually do on here is if you have enough gold, you can go out and purchase something like that. So I just purchased a worker, or a builder. And in previous installments of Civilization, the worker was something you had going at all times. And I will be honest, I preferred that method a little bit, um, because you basically had them. You can basically keep a worker from the beginning to the end, and they would just trudge along and build everything. You can automate them, whatever. But they made it where you have to be a little strategic about your builders. You have to make them, and you have to make a lot. You got to be prepared to do it because you have to use them to do your road. Well, no, not your roads, but do your um, mining, your agricultural, your fishing, your oil production later on. Just so you know, if you haven't played it, that's why they're important. They're your backbone. Your workers are your backbone uh, to making sure you are present. So I'll move my builder over here, and they're on a stack of stone, which is a bonus resource. And I will go ahead and use one of their movements and voila, there is my mine. The one thing I do like, and I will say about the builders, is there isn't any excess turn making. The previous installments of Civilization, you did have a lot of workers. You had to have a lot of workers because it took several turns sometimes to build a mine. The way it is set up, basically, the builder gets a couple moves, a movement, a couple of builds. Basically, they get three, depending basic, basic three, and then you can use them 3 times. They go away, and that's sort of the plus side of the way they do it now, and I do like that part. And I guess that is the main benefit of doing it. My next turn, my warrior needs to move some order, so I'm going to move up into the city. Sometimes having a warrior or military presence in your city is a good thing. Actually, I think almost all the time it's a good thing. Helps with the defense of the city and helps actually sometimes make the city more prosperous because it's safer because of that. And it's kind of interesting because you don't really pick up on it as you're playing it. It's not something that really you'll pay attention to or notice sometimes, but it does. It actually does have a benefit. So we'll move on. And my first random little factoid I will um, use, which will be interesting to me and maybe to everyone else, if I can get the right information. The city of London that I have, um, if you want to know historically when they actually were founded. Like I said, I founded mine. You can actually usually find out when it was founded. Um, Maybe not through here. I cannot remember exactly. And we'll do that later. I'll figure that out. But you know, we I found it at 34 BC, 35 BC, somewhere around there, maybe 37. It's very early in the game. Um, 37, yeah. So the actual city of London um, was settled by the Romans, of course, in AD 47. It was known as Londinium uh, back then when it was founded. I don't speak Latin. I've never taken Latin, so I'm probably sure that's pronounced a much different way than the way I pronounced it. Um, so that was actually the original um, name of the city, the name of the town that the Romans had founded. Uh, and that's an interesting fact, you know, to really be honest, because I mean, it's always interesting European history and things like that because, and only to me, ancient European history. And I'm not that I don't like current European history. Yeah, well, you know what I mean. The more recent past or anything like that. I mean, 19th century Great Britain, you know, 18th century Great Britain. All that's really cool. You know, Italy, Renaissance era, Spain, Portugal, those things. That's amazing. Don't get me wrong. But I guess the main one was is just it's interesting to look back and like realize like that land was founded, almost 2,000 years ago. You know, and that didn't mean the people weren't there already. It's crazy that you think of London as a city that's almost 2,000 years old. That area. Um, and it's fascinating. And that's the one cool thing I like about Civilization is if you're keen to learn about this stuff, um, learn a little about history, like Victoria, Queen Victoria, you know, you can, and you get, like I said, it gets you sort of an interesting thing. I don't know much about Queen Victoria. It's something I'm gonna have to look up. I don't know much about. Um, uh, I'm not gonna pronounce it because I don't want to mess it up, but you see it, and then that as well, the Indian Empire. And you go back and you look at those names and research and say, hey, now I know about them. We'll do that later, maybe sometime if this becomes important. or not important, but it becomes popular or just interesting to me to do that. Like I said, no notes on this, so the only notes I have is if I decide to Wikipedia something on the go. Um, so maybe if someone watches this and they find a non-Wikipedia source about when London was founded, that'd be cool too. I'm always also engaged in learning. So my warrior's there, I'm going to heal them. My worker is there, so I'm going to go down here. Still have to move. They only, there's some that move here and there. They don't move too fast all the time. They will pick up more movement as the game goes on. Next turn. So you'll see over here, travel village contacted. And this is really cool. They never. This is new as well to this game, kind of like a scroll of history. So look at it. Explorers of England. Let you go here. So like I said, I found it pretty earlier. So villagers bring gifts to my civilization. You know, obviously I founded 3900, maybe a little bit closer to that. Um, Worry welcomes and curious stares mark the moment of our first meeting with the people of China. Now it's 3840 BC, fifth turn. The next turn, worry welcomes and curious stares mark the moment of our meeting with the people of India. That was 40 years later in this game. And then you talk about another 40 years later, we are explorers of England, of the first from a major civilization. This is eyes on Mount Roraima. Roraima? I don't. Once again, not a pronunciation guy. I have a speech impediment. I barely pronounce my words right to begin with. So do not hold a grudge against me. I will learn one day. In 3280 BC, our forces clear a barbarian camp and infect our civilization vanquished. And 2920 BC, village brings a gift as they join our civilization. So it's kind of cool to have these scrolls to kind of give you a reach back to what's happening by X amount of time. Right now, we're actually currently at 2920 BC. So unit needs orders. I'm going to make a farm. Once again, the need for food is important. I'm running away from these barbarians the best I can. I don't want my, scouts are really not the strongest unit, not really combat units. They can fight, but I'd rather have my scout live another day and keep scouting than um, die by some barbarian bastards. So maybe they're taking. I'm gonna found my next city, and it's gonna be Leeds. So you get an advisor. So this advisor says selling a new city has expanded our civilization. With an empire larger than one city, it is important to keep an eye on the loyalty of our citizens. If loyalty decreases, the city is not as effective. If loyalty drops to zero, the city will declare its independence and become a free city. The same can happen to other civilizations, so keep an eye out for the opportunities to destabilize others and maybe even take a free city into your own empire. And that's another cool thing about this game. You don't necessarily and then so Leeds becomes the first settlement on Valpara. So new continent, or new area basically, and we have Leeds. And if you wanted to know, and I'll do that real quick via a quick Google search. Um, so we founded it, of course, that early, that when that. But the actual city of Leeds. Um, so according to Wikipedia, if we can figure it out, because I'm not keen on um, when it was, obviously, yeah, but it says the borough charter was in 1207, and the ancient boroughs are a historic unit of lower tier local government in England and Wales. So that gives you an idea. So that was founded in 1207, and then the municipal charter later in 1626, and then this actually says the city was given city status in 1893. So obviously we're much earlier. Um, but that's Leeds. And funny note about me. One day I thought about going to college in England um, when I was 19. Obviously, never came to fruition. Um, I went to the University of South Carolina, but Leeds was where I had thought about going. Just a little personal tidbit. So you choose production of your new city. I usually always go with granary. The only thing that sucks about new cities is it takes even longer to build things. You have to get them established as well, connected, and things like that. So that could be a pain in the butt sometimes. My builder needs, my warrior needs, I'm going to fortify it leads. Now my builder needs another build, and the question is, I already got stone, so I think I'm actually going to go up here to the rice and start, and maybe get and do some rice the next turn. So the only way to actually connect cities in this game, like I said uh, previously to connect cities, you use builders. Uh, and I'll apologize. I mean, I don't want to build necessarily. I don't want to cause any ruckus, so ignore that. But previously, if you wanted to connect cities, your builders built the roads. And this, you have to wait until you get envoys. Well, actually, not
We have
envoys.
recently gained advanced knowledge in city planning. Creating districts in our cities can be much more powerful and lucrative than simple improvements like farms and mines.
A physician without a knowledge of astrology has no right to call himself a physician.
Thank you, Sean Bean.
Just as our citizens have faith in your leadership, so they are beginning to have faith in a higher power. I think it is wise to cultivate this new way of thinking. Perhaps there is some benefit to be gained.
Anyway, I forgot where I was after all that. We'll find out later. So I guess the next thing to really talk about is you. Um, get that a little bit closer. Sorry. It's districts. That's definitely a new thing that came with Civilization 6. Is oftentimes things get kind of muddled around the area, and the cities grew, but it was kind of a cluster. Um, it can still be kind of clustery, but the districts allow you to, and we'll get to them, kind of allow you to build around the city, but not have everything kind of clustery. And it looks a little bit better, it looks a bit cleaner, and it's a little more strategic. So we'll choose the next research. I will go with, actually, I'll go with irrigation. I don't want people to know how to write just yet. We'll get there. We'll get there. Don't worry. And I will upgrade my scout. Underneath orders, or you can just hang out in the city. And next turn. Now, the one thing I always do is I usually am quick to build new cities. But yeah, I try to build quickly, and it can be difficult because you don't want to piss off your
We have the
neighbors.
opportunity to develop a formal trade route between two cities. A trader unit is required to establish such a route, which would be very beneficial for our economy.
Yeah, so that's what I remember. I was on a tangent about. So workers used to be the way you build roads between your cities. It can be a little bit quicker. Now, in order to develop roads between your cities, you have to have traders and trade units. Um, so you can send it to your city, send it to other cities. I mean, you send it to anywhere, but and you hope the roads that the other opponents will trade with you in those trade routes, and they develop connections to your cities, and by osmosis almost you connect everything. But that's how you do it. It used to be you have to develop like a million workers to basically develop your roads or your railroads.
That's the positive aspect of trade, I suppose. The world gets stirred up together.
There's a new ones, Maritime Industries, Caravan Series. And I actually usually keep the urban planning because I like to have the more production in my um, economy early on. But Caravan Series, that's a very weird word for me. I'll usually switch over because it's a little better for gold production. And I have a new choose a new Civic, and I will go with Early Empire because I want to be an Early Empire. So that's what we go. Unit needs order, so I'm gonna go back to automating these good old fellas. And next turn, I can zoom out all the way here, see the whole map going on.
The number of faithful has grown, and it is time for us to define our beliefs. Let us choose a pantheon to worship.
So that's a new thing for Civilization 6. Wow. You can actually always found a religion, at least from 4 or 5 and 6 that I've done. But the Civilization 6 created these um, pantheons. And choosing a pantheon kind of gives you um, a different uh, bonus. So I've never really found one that I care about one way or the other. Um, to be honest, it doesn't really do anything for me too much. Um, to know which one so like, but you get all these, and it's always, and for some reason, right, that's what I'll do actually. I'll found that pantheon, and I'm working towards a religion, and that's always cool to find a religion. Um, and it's just you can create a religion. They actually do give you that ability. And in London, I'm actually going to do Stonehenge. So once again, you have to find the right area to build it. Um, Sometimes you get bonuses, sometimes you don't. I'm actually going to build it. I want to build it out like that, so I'll buy that piece of land. And I'm going to build it over here. And the wonders are really cool. I love building wonders, and typically I build a lot of wonders and get them. But once someone else builds a wonder, that wonder goes away. So that's the thing. If you want to build a particular wonder, you gotta get it started, and hope you can do it before someone else does it, because they can very well um, take it away from you, or not take it away from you, but just build it before you do. Um, and I feel like if you're gonna do Stonehenge, it needs to be in England, because that's where it is. So I'm gonna make a rice farm, and I love how that does it, prints out, and all of a sudden you have a rice farm, and there goes the builder. He is gone, and now you have to wait till you get enough time and energy to build a new builder, or money if you want. So, next turn. But you have to expend the world. It can go everywhere. But I mostly leave it close in, or kind of close in, just to. You know what? You can say we're stinky, but yeah, you're pretty cool. I can't say anything. That's mean. I'll build closer if I want to. I feel like that's something that Donald Trump might say. You're a stinky leader. Okay, fine. But are we free? That's key. Next turn. My irrigation is almost finished, if you see in the left-hand corner.
The man who has grit enough to bring about the afforestation or the irrigation of a country is not less worthy of honour than its conqueror.
So now we are capable of irrigating land. The next research, actually will do writing. We are going to learn to write. 2640 BC. There we go. And I do love how the city graphics work. You know, it's really cool. I've run out of things to say. It's true. Now the question, one thing that, how can you let the barbarians run amok so close to your home? I don't know. I mean, we haven't got that far. I mean, where are they at? I don't see them. I don't see any barbarians. I don't get it. Why don't you go run a barbarian in your butt? Anyway, that's not my finest moment. Next turn. And this happens a lot too. I don't know if it's just a glitch in the game or something, but you'll get admonished by your neighboring emperors 1 second, and then the next second they thank you for killing the barbarians. Don't ask me. I just play the game. Alright, so please wait. But anyway, yeah, I mean it's...
We now have the opportunity to appoint a governor to our civilization. This governor will be a powerful and productive asset when assigned to one of our cities. I suggest we choose a candidate as soon as possible.
Yeah, so one of the other cool things about Civilization 6 is governors. You get to...
It was luxuries like air conditioning that brought down the Roman Empire. With air conditioning, their windows were shut. They couldn't hear the barbarians coming.
Alright, well, I think I finished Civic. But governors are a new thing about Civilization 6. You can move governors anywhere, appoint them to different places, not even places in your own country to an extent, in some city-states, and you can upgrade their abilities. So I'm going to appoint a governor. Oh, I didn't even pay attention to what governor I was picking.
It was like air conditioning that brought down the Roman Empire. With air conditioning, their windows were shut.
Okay.
They couldn't hear the barbarians coming.
Thank you, Sean Bean, again. But Victor the Castellan, he's actually the military guy, commander kind of guy, governor. I can assign him, and I guess I will assign him to London. Why not? That's my capital. I will put him there.
It was luxuries like air conditioning.
Okay, let's just...
Our governor is now on their way to their assigned city. It will take some time for them to become established there. Once established, their talents will come into effect, strengthening our rule there.
So, county government, is there, but you can land survey colonization. And that's one that I actually do like to get early on because I like to build settlers and expand my empire. And one way to do that is to build new cities and colonize. Yes, I like to do that in this game. I don't go anywhere to colonize anywhere else. Excuse me. I'll go ahead and do mysticism real quick, get it out of the way. It's only 4 turns. And then next turn. And writing will be finished. Uh-oh. They attacked. Look, a crab.
Writing means sharing. It's part of the human condition to want to share things. Thoughts, ideas, opinions.
And if any of you would like to share your thoughts, ideas, or opinions, please do so in the comment section. If you find the time to watch this video. So I am going to do this, find this next research, and I will actually pick up, do archery to get the next military unit, and that is going to be the end of my first try at this type of thing to record and upload later. I hope it is successful. I would like to do it more often. My live streaming will probably be mainly from my PlayStation 4, but if I can make a presence by doing this, it will be really cool too. And Civilization, probably not the only game I'm going to play on here. I've been getting into World of Warships. Still want to get into WoW, like I used to be a little bit. Um, Even the Old Republic, Star Wars: The Old Republic, and any game that I could put on my computer and play. That would be really cool to do too. Not really going to be playing like AAA titles, like console kind of games like um, The Witcher or anything on my PC, my laptop. Not really made for that, but it can do games pretty good. For the most part, and keep it simple. That's what I'm doing. So that is it for this first recording. I'm gonna hopefully put this on YouTube, and you can watch it and leave me loving comments or just a few views to tell me what you think and what you're interested in, questions you might want to ask me. It's a good starter conversation. So, for anyone who does watch this in the future, I really appreciate it. I mean, I am really grateful for anyone who views anything I do. Um, I'm not the most entertaining fellow, and I have a speech impediment, and that's why I studied history, because I'm a boring dude. But I'm trying to do something I really love to do, and that's play video games, talk about them, introduce them, get people interested in them, get people to talk about them, contact me. And like I said, a game like this really does, to me, spark a little bit of historical conversation, and I like to talk about that too. So, anyway, thank you very much for viewing Tyler Revolution on YouTube. And if I could think of a better name, I will change that. But right now, that's the thing. Um, but thank you once again. This has been Civilization 6 on Tyler Revolution. I'm an idiot.